Hey guys, TechTucker here, and in today's video we're going through my Xbox 360 collection. So I have made some room on my shelf to try and get the remainder of this pile of games into the collection. So without further ado, I'm going to get that started and you guys can see the progress. Managed to fit on the shelf, thankfully. Just had enough room. You'll see a clip of that in a moment, but I counted all the games here. So pretty much each of these can hold 19 games. So I times that by 23 minus 1 because the Witcher 3 is a little bigger, so one less game. So I added on 18, then there's an additional 4 in the bottom shelf there. That I have a total of 459 Xbox 360 games. Wow. Yeah, it's quite a lot just for a single platform, and to be honest, to me it does not look like that many. It does not look like 450 plus here. But let's take a closer look, guys, and I'll give you a view of what games I've got and, you know, spot out some highlights and such of games that I think you should definitely go pick up and play. Alright, so starting off with the first bit here, a game I have played before. We'll pick that out. 50 Cent Blood in the Sand. That's a game that's so-so. It's backwards compatible on the Series X. I played it with my pals on the PS3 a good few years ago, and we didn't like it too much, but I'm willing to give it a shot again just for the shits and giggles. I think it'll be a fun game to pick up and play. Angry Birds, this will be a weird one, but I wanted this in the collection because I wanted a physical copy of Angry Birds and I wanted to play it for some reason. Sure, I could have just downloaded it on my phone, but I have half a brain cell sometimes, so yeah, I paid money for it. Same with Star Wars. I don't know why they released that individually, but hey ho. And then Arcana Hearts 3, a game I want to spotlight as well. A game I picked up recently, an Arc Systems fighting game. So definitely give that a go if you've not. It's pretty cool actually. And then you've got more games over here. So putting a focus on Asura's Wrath. I was looking for this game for bloody ages. I could never find it. I think I found it in Birmingham in 2021 in a CEX, so that's a fun one there. And then Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Have a lot of stories with this one. Pretty much, I think it only worked on HD TVs, so when I did buy it initially, well it wasn't me that bought it, it's for like a Christmas present when I was like 14. Yeah, I had a standard TV, like an old CRT, you know, kind of like that. Yeah, and didn't display the text or anything, so I just like to my mum, the game doesn't work. and then she took it back like 2-3 times, so I never really got to play this one other than walking as Fat Banjo, but it's probably for the better. With the Batman games as well, Arkham Asylum is the one that I played the most, as my oldest brother did get me this collection for Christmas one year. So I had them both digitally, both Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, but I bought the Game of the Year edition just to have all the DLC and such. And then a funny one, B-Movie, bought this for my CEX locally, and I'll show you something. They scammed me because, yeah, look at that, all in a different language, and CEX aren't meant to take that supposedly. I kept it for the reason that I bought it in the 360 and it played in English, so no harm done. I'm not too bothered as long as it plays in English. So we'll have a look at some of these games here. I got Blood Drive as I was into arcade racers not too long ago when I was playing like Ridge Racer and such. So that's one I've yet to actually pop in, but it looks cool based on what Retro Ghetto mentioned about it. He was kind of the influence as to why I picked that one up. One that definitely goes under the radar, Blue Dragon. This RPG is incredibly underrated, and I think people should really give it a go. I'm sure this has like 4 discs or something, but if you get it digitally then that won't be a problem. But I love the art style. I believe it was Akira Toriyama that did these characters. Try to see if it's it, yeah. Akira Toriyama, and I've got my Dragon Ball Super volumes down there, which you won't see too well, but I'm a Dragon Ball fan. Just having a look. Yeah, I mean, we've got a Vegeta figure up there. You know, I'm not a fake fan, I swear. But this game, it's a long one, but it's worth it. And the battle system's fun, the music is awesome. Highly recommend this, and it is an exclusive, and it's backwards compatible. Pick it up while it's cheap. This is one I definitely foresee going up, as I had Blue Dragon Plus on the Nintendo DS. That one's like a £25 game at the minute, and then there's another one on the DS, which is like £70 now. So yeah, definitely pick that one up if you've not. Couple of games I got off the Count of Metal Jesus Rock, some Hidden Gems videos, Blur and Body Count. Out of those two, I've not played either yet, which I'm disappointed in myself for, but you know, it's one of those where I would love to pop them in and give them a go someday. So a series I really love, Borderlands. Got all of the games here, got it on the Switch as well, and got them on Steam. Me and my friends play them quite regularly. That's like one of our go-to multiplayer games. The drinking games we've done with that as well. I bloody love Borderlands, although the pre-sequel's complete crap. That game sucks. And Borderlands 3 I've got on the Xbox One, and I've got it on Steam as well. But yeah. Got Bullet Witch, which is a Bayonetta knockoff. It's kind of wank, but it's okay enough, I suppose. Then you've got some Burnout games there, Burnout Paradise and Revenge. Revenge is a great game as well. I believe this one is backwards compatible also. So definitely the superior way to play this game if you've got like OG Xbox or PlayStation 2 or anything like that. Again, you can get up to 4K these days. And then you'll see from a recent CEX Roulette, Capcom Digital Collection. If I can pull that out. Yeah, I bought this mainly for Puzzle Fighter 2. That was the game I wanted. I do have nostalgia for that game, as my brother had it on his Xbox 360 as a digital download. And then the Call of Duty series, I do have nostalgia for that also, everyone does. I grew up in the era when the chat lobbies were merciless and tore you a new one, so good times were had for sure. The COD games I'm most nostalgic for, Black Ops, the zombies in that, one of my favourites. That and World at War, two of my favourite zombies modes. And then with Black Ops 2, I didn't care too much for zombies in Black Ops 2, which a lot of people liked. That's 3. Which a lot of people liked, but wasn't for me. I just mainly liked multiplayer. And Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2, both really good for multiplayer as well. A game that's a bit underrated for zombies, I would say, is Infinite Warfare. Zombies in Spaceland, really good game. The game itself is complete whatever sci-fi nonsense, but in terms of the zombies, that is the redeeming factor of that game. So, some other games here. I do have some memories of Civilization Revolution. I remember one year it was a game with gold in the summertime. So, me and my pals played it. This was my first Civ game, sorry. It's not a series I'm overly nostalgic for or anything like that. I'm not super into like strategy, like real-time strategy games or anything like that. And this is baby's first Civ and I still sucked at it, so yeah, just leave that there. And then I do have nostalgia for Crash of the Titans, but the Nintendo DS version. I've always wanted to try out the HD version, just not got around to it yet. Same goes for Crash Mind Over Mutant, but I've played the good Crash games. And I've got Crash sitting there. Sorry buddy, I've disgraced you by having those on the shelf. And the series I also would like to try out someday is Crisis, as well as Condemned. I've got those, I've had them for a while. I bought them because, again, a lot of the reason I have such a big Xbox collection is because the games are so cheap. I've spent like a couple quid on most of these games, so times are changing though, they are on the rise. So definitely pick up some games now if you want to play them. So the next set of games here, again, nothing that I'm too nostalgic for in this selection. My friends are really into Dark Souls. I've tried. Something that I need to keep just giving another go, I reckon. I'll get there someday. Deadpool I've played a little bit. That game's pretty solid, I like it. Dead Rising, I do have a little bit of nostalgia. I played it with my pals a couple of times. It was just kind of like the kill as many zombies as you can modes though. I've heard Off the Record is really good. That's something I need to try out. As well as the Dead Space series. Something, again, I've not got around to it, but I've got in the collections. They're kind of staples. Backwards compatible. And they were like £1 each at the time. I don't know if they've went up at all or not, but the remake is on my radar, so I'm considering getting that on the PlayStation 5 at some point. Death Smiles, again, another great shoot 'em off by Cave. They do such amazing shooters. Highly recommend them. Death Smiles, I believe, is on the Switch and PlayStation 4 now as well, in a combo pack with the first and second game. So probably the way to play it, but for me, I'm quite happy just having it on the 360 there. Now on to the next shelf of games. So again, Devil May Cry series, this is one to definitely try out. Again, this is on more modern platforms like PlayStation 4 and not PlayStation 5, sorry, and the Xbox One as well. I do have it on the 360, it's a lot cheaper, and the games probably run more or less same, just a bit slower in load times than that. And DMC, tried this game, it's a fine enough like hack and slash, but it's not a good DMC game. I remember getting this for my 18th birthday on the Xbox One. Funnily enough, I'm right next to this set. My brother got me this as one of the first games because he knew I enjoyed Bayonetta, so I thought I'd like DMC. So this one again, it's still a solid game, but it's not like the best Devil May Cry at all. 3 is probably, just skip 2. Skip 2. And then you've got 4 of course. Dodonpachi, again another cave shooter, just gotta give this one a shout out. Gotta love the cave shooters, they're so fun. They know what they're doing with that. Doom 3, probably the worst one out of them all, I would say. I'm not super into Doom 3. And then you've got the Dragon Ball games here as well. Dragon Ball Z for Kinect. Yeah, I'm not going to talk much more about that. But I do quite like the Dragon Ball games. That was a subset I was going for last year. And I got them all eventually. I think the last one I got was Xenoverse. I just never found it anywhere. So I did just buy it on CEX Online and I just happened to get a really good condition copy. Absolutely love Xenoverse 2. That's such a good game. I want all the DLC, but I cannot justify the price point. I want them to do a complete edition. If they release that on the Switch or the PS5 or whatever, 100% buy day one. And then the Dragon Ball game I will give a shout, Budokai HD Collection. Again, I do believe this one's backwards compatible. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I have nostalgia for DBZ Budokai 1, because me and my brother put an action replay in the PlayStation 2, unlocked everyone, and just, beat the crap out of each other. It was great times. So having a look at this side over here, again, not too much that I'm overly nostalgic for or anything within this shelf, but the game that does come to mind and is in my Hidden Gems video, F1 Race Stars. A really good Mario Kart-like game. If I can pull it out at all, that would be lovely. Just to show you guys. Oh, that was awful. But I think it's that slipcover in the F1 2013, but yeah. F1 Race Stars, a game I would highly recommend. Again, if you like kart racers, Mario Kart, and you've had enough like Sonic All-Stars Racing or Crash Team Racing, for example, put this one next in line. This game will not disappoint. Really fun game. I guess with the other games, I suppose I have played a bit of Fable 3. My brother is quite into the Fable series, he quite likes it, so I'll be sure to give that a go sometime. Properly, at least. And again, with the games here, I've tried Forza. I'm dog shit at racing, like proper racing sims. I can't even get my head around Horizon when that's meant to be the more arcadey of the two. I've tried really hard. And then Far Cry series, it's one of those where I've dipped in and out of it. My pals are quite into it. Not something I've played a ton. But the game that I've probably played the most out of all these is Family Guy Back to the Multiverse. Again, that's a surprisingly fun licensed game. I remember playing it like the day before my birthday a couple of years back with the missus, and she even quite enjoyed it as well. I think it got a bit repetitive, so never went back and fully finished it, but for what it is, pretty solid time. Recommend it if you can get your hands on it. It is a bit pricier these days, it being about £15 or so. So having a look at the next set of games, of course your Grand Theft Autos. I will stand by this and I'll die on this hill. Grand Theft Auto 4 had the best online, I don't care what anyone says. Grand Theft Auto 5 was just overblown RPG-esque elements. Was not a fan really. Other than doing heists and that with my brothers, you know, that was a good laugh, but GTA 4, best online out of them all, just going absolutely ham and going crazy. Out of all these as well, you've got to have the Gears of War series, incredibly cheap on the 362, so pick that up if you can. And then you move on to the Guitar Hero games, a series I absolutely adore. I do understand why it died out, and I'm not going to pretend I'm like, oh no, I'm devastated. There's a great series of games here. I do believe I have them all. If there's some I'm missing, please let me know, because I want to have a complete subset if I do, but I'm confident this is all the games. The ones I enjoy the most. Guitar Hero 3 is definitely my favourite, best song selection out of them all I would say. The personality of the characters in the game and that, just so much fun. Nostalgia overload, that one. I'd say Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock is the next best one, and then followed by 5. I think after like Guitar Hero 3, it did kind of lose a lot of its personality and just kind of became more generic. So unsurprisingly, you will see Rock Band games later. But yeah, a lot of these I've not really played a ton. I've played quite a lot of Aerosmith. Not put in greatest hits, or I've played a little bit of Metallica back in the past, but not anytime recently. And Van Halen is one that always eluded me. I think that was the last one I got it quite recently, like tail end of last year. But yeah, can't beat Guitar Hero. I do have a guitar at my brother's house, so I need to find out where that is because I'm kind of fancying a go again. I always pop in Guitar Hero at least once or twice a year, and it's probably like the best week of the year to be fair. So yeah, got your Halos. You know, Halo 4. I remember with this one, a lot of nostalgia tied to this. This was like a surprise Christmas gift, as I asked for a bunch of games for Christmas, and this was the only one that I knew I didn't know that I was getting or not. Again, it was one of those, when I opened it I was just like, oh shit, Halo 4, yeah, and it had the steelbook and everything. A lot of people don't like Halo 4 and I totally understand that. It's not a great Halo game, but it's a fine enough shooter, so I quite enjoyed it and I beat the campaign and such. And me and my friend, I stayed at his house one night and we just beat the campaign in one go. Good times. And you've got Harry Potter Connect, and yeah. So having a look at the last little bit here. Again, not too much I'm overly nostalgic for or have too many opinions on. I will say Import Tuner Challenge, very recent pickup in the last few months. I think it was like a couple months ago. One I've yet to pop in, been on a bit of an arcade racer kick after playing Ridge Racer Unbounded. And then you've got Killer is Dead. That is one I really want to get towards and play sometime. But we've got the Just Cause games there. They're ones I have some nostalgia for. I remember playing them at my friends' houses and that. And I mostly played Just Cause 3 out of them all. That was the one I enjoyed with the grappling hook. That was tons of fun. But yeah, I'll definitely need to go back and check those out and, you know, give them more time. Yeah, Killer is Dead is definitely higher on the list to play out of everything here. Now we're on to the next part of the collection here. So you'll see we're at the L's. So a lot of Lego games. Not really being a big Lego game guy. These are games that you always just find either in charity shops and bundles or whatever it is. But yeah, Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. That's a game that's a pretty cool game. It's good that it got a remaster and was on Switch and that recently as well. Got the PlayStation version and PlayStation Plus. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about that. L.A. Noire, this game kicks so much ass. Really enjoy this. Yeah, I even picked up on Switch when that came out. Really, really like this game. There's nothing else quite like it, I would say. It is quite a unique game, and I know the problems of it, you know, when it was being developed and that. So yeah, that kind of makes you go, ooh. But yeah, that's the nature of it. At least it came out with a cracking game, so yeah, play L.A. Noire if you've not picked that one up. Yeah, moving on swiftly over here, Lollipop Chainsaw. I'm sure that's getting a remake as well, so that's one to be on the lookout for when that does come out. Lost Planet series, Mass Effect. I've got, again, pretty big staples of the 360 era, although with Lost Planet, probably just stick to the first and second one. You don't really need to play 3, that's not the greatest. And then Mass Effect as well, kind of similar, stick to 1 and 2, 3's whatever. But you can't beat Metal Gear as well. Metal Gear Rising, a good Platinum Games title, really enjoy that one. I don't like it as much as, say, Bayonetta, but it's a fun game. Me and my friend that I know quite well, we played it one day on a Sunday or something. I used to get him around to my house and we'd play games. That's how I beat South Park Stick of Truth in one day. Metal Gear Solid HD Collection, this is one that I need to clean up actually. And it's annoying, I had a cleaner copy that I ended up giving to my brother, so yeah, this must have been in the collection before I was using Google on every game that goes in, so I'll need to pick this one out and do that. But yeah, you get some great titles, Metal Gear 2, Metal Gear 3, and then you've got Peace Walker HD, so a great collection. It is getting a bit pricier, so pick that one up sooner rather than later. And then you've got this selection of games here. So again, this one's a better selection of stuff. I've tried Minecraft Story Mode, I remember playing at my friend's house as well. I'm winding him up, he absolutely hated it, me and my other pal were having a really good time with it. We're just like, Minecraft Story Mode, funny meme. You know, the summers that I would waste, well I say waste, but I really enjoyed with Minecraft on multiplayer. Can't beat that. We did a 12-hour session one day just because we were like, why not? And then with Mirror's Edge, this is a game that still gets played to this day with me and my friend group. We have drinking games and everything for this. Every time you die, we always forget the controls as well, even though we've played it over the course of like the last 5 years. You cannot beat. This is a great drinking game with pals. Like if you just hand over the controller, do things like, oh hey, if you die, drink. Pass over the controller, next guy. If you know, things like that. It declines so fast. But this is a really fun like first person like platformer parkour type game. So don't play Catalyst, but play this one. It's playable on the Series X as well, so definitely pick that one up, and this is really cheap as well. You're doing yourself a favour by playing that. Then you've got the Namco Virtual Arcade Museum thing here. It's not even a museum one, I'm just used to them. But I mainly wanted this because I do believe it has Miss Pac-Man. Or am I just making that up? It's got Championship Edition, Galaga, Mr. Driller. I could have swore this has Miss Pac-Man. I'm gonna take a closer look at that. Have I gaslit myself into thinking this has Miss Pac-Man? Have I? I think I see the logo there actually. Because that's the main reason I wanted this. I'm just making sure that I've not made that up. I can't actually explicitly read it. Oh well, yeah, it says Miss Pac-Man. That was delisted famously, so that's because of the Midway copyright thing, but yeah, that's me just drifting off into a tangent there. Ignore that. So, but yeah, Namco Museum, that one's a good one just to have your, every platform's got a Namco bundle, like my Switch one with like Pac-Man Championship Edition 2, absolutely love that game. I cannot get enough of Championship Edition. So the Pac-Man Museum Plus that came out not too long ago, I played on Game Pass, and again I loved it. I was going for as much achievements as I can. I'm not good enough to get like the high scores required for like the Pac-Man achievement but I got all the other ones where I could. And then with Need for Speed, with this series, I am mostly nostalgic for Carbon and Hot Pursuit. I've got the Hot Pursuit remake on the Switch, and well, remaster even. And then with Need for Speed Carbon, I remember at my dad's caravan site in Berwick, that's where it is, because I've done a game hunt there. Still got it, so there was a Need for Speed Carbon arcade machine I used to play quite frequently there. So that's where the nostalgia comes from there. I can't remember if it's the same as the console version. I think it will differ in some areas, of course, but that's something that I am incredibly nostalgic for. And Need for Speed Most Wanted, a recent addition to the 360 collection. I hear this is one of the best ones. Not got around to it yet. Definitely one that's on the backlog to play pretty soon. And then, yeah, moving on swiftly over here. Again, if there's games you want me to talk about in more depth, guys, let me know. I'm happy to try them out, perhaps even put them in like hidden gems videos and that, as I'm definitely going to do more in the future. As the 360 is a console I'm definitely pretty well versed in, and I've got a huge library of games, and a lot of which I've not properly played yet, because that's it when you're a collector. You buy stuff, you intend to play it, and you don't. But I remember 99 Nights. This is a game that, the sequel, I never really knew about the sequel until a good amount of years later after I'd played some of this one. I had a friend who enjoyed this game, so I picked it up when I found it for like £2. She was like, oh, you've got to try this one. I'm like, alright, let's give it a whirl. I'm like, oh, it's actually pretty solid Pretty solid like hack and slash kind of game, I believe it is, if I'm remembering that correctly. And then they do 99 Nights 2 as well. This is a bit more of an uncommon game, so if you pick this one up or find it, I think it can sell for about £10 or so. But yeah, having a look here, Ninja Gaiden 2 as well is one of those where I kind of picked up on a whim when it was like a couple quid. This game is brutal. My brother's really into the Ninja Gaiden games on the NES. He can beat the original one on the NES in like 20 minutes. Well, not 20 minutes, but he can beat it stupid fast. It's insane. He played that game to death. He loves it. And then Perfect Dark Zero as well is one of the earlier 360 games picked up. Wasn't a fan really, but it was like £1 at the time when I was a kid with no money. So, you know what? You're going to pick up what you can get. And having a look, Peter Jackson's King Kong. An underrated game for sure, but a lot of people are coining on that. It's a solid movie title now. So yeah, something to be mindful of. And then you've got Portal 2 here. I am so crap at the Portal series because, as I mentioned earlier, I've got like half a brain cell most days. So yeah, it's just not something I can ever get my head around. I'm thick as shit sometimes. So when it comes to common sense and puzzles, I'm not your guy. So I'll look further here. Got more games. The Grid series, I've played an arcade cabinet of that before. It's like an orange arcade cab. I don't know if that's the game exactly. I'm trying to find that one. I don't know if it is. I've also got Grid 2 further up on the shelf, but I played a bit of like Red Faction Guerrilla here. Bit of Resident Evil 5 with a friend before. That's a good co-op game. Played a bit of Revelations on the Switch as I bought it digitally. And got Ridge Racer 6 off of the back of playing Ridge Racer Unbounded, as I wanted a proper like go at that. And it was a bit more expensive because it's playable on the Series X, while it's a lot cheaper on the PS3. But I would rather play it the best way possible, and I've got a huge 360 collection, so that was a platform of choice for sure. A game I really enjoy, Rayman Origins. This game is fantastic. I wish it had the art cards, but it does not. This game is one of the first games I got with my 360, so I got like Banjo-Kazooie, Nuts and Bolts, a couple of Kinect games, Rayman Origins, Sonic Generations, Sonic 06, and I think there might have been something else. I'm not remembering that. I'm not remembering if there was anything else. I think it was just the Sega Mega Drive collection. My mum knew I was a Sonic fan. Yeah, Rayman Origins was one of those games I really wanted, and I got pretty close to beating it, and then my Xbox red ringed. And then I played it on another Xbox, it red ringed again, so I've just never finished Origins. It's kind of cursed for me, so I'm not going to tempt fate, and I'm not going to finish that game, unfortunately. But I played a good chunk of Legends. That game kicks ass, especially the Eye of the Tiger level and like the Black Betty one. I love the music levels. So here now we're on to the last part of the R's. For the most part, yeah, Rock Band. I'm not as big on Rock Band as Guitar Hero, although Rock Band 4 definitely the best one in the series in my opinion. Whether people agree or disagree, that's entirely up to you guys, but 4 is definitely the Rock Band I put the most time into, because Guitar Hero Live is crap. I got that game on my 18th birthday on this Xbox One. The disappointment was immeasurable. I did give it a fair shot. I tried it out, but just was not big on it. I'm glad Rock Band stuck to the original formula that worked. Because yeah, Rock Band 3, it's cool you can get all the games, like all the songs onto one game, but I think you do need Xbox Live and a code to do so, so not really relevant these days. But yeah, I picked up quite a few of these as of late. Like, I only had Rock Band 3 for the longest time. It's one of those where I'll wait to find really cheap games in CX locally rather than double the price by paying for postage. So that was like 50p or something. That was like £1.50 or something like that. Then this was like £5, that was about £10, that was about £6 if I remember correctly. I got a couple of these quite recently. I think they're even in some of my videos, with the AC/DC one and the Song Pack 2. But yeah, Rock Band's one of those series that, yeah, I love rhythm games like that. So Parappa the Rapper is one I played a good few years ago. Looking for Guitar Man, I can't remember exactly what it's called, but something like that. But yeah, trying out Rumble Roses XX, that's the one that you saw got water damaged. Looks a bit better now. Yeah, wouldn't even be able to tell really that it was water damaged, so I just kind of kept it. But yeah, that opened a Royal Mail dispute for that one. And then Sega Mega Drive Ultimate Collection, probably one of the best, if not the best, Mega Drive collection that is out there. Really solid selection of games. This one doesn't run you too much these days. You can easily buy it on eBay for about £5 to £10. I got mine for a £5 buy it now like a year or two ago, because it's one of those games I traded in ages ago that I just never rebought. because I have the Mega Drive collection on the Switch, and you've got NSO now as well. But yeah, moving on to the last part of the collection. Alright guys, so we're now at the last bit here, where, yeah, Sega Rally's an arcade racer I bought very recently as well. I got it in an eBay, a lot of games for like £14, I traded in most of them and got like most of my money back. So Sega Rally's like a £5 game alone, and I think it cost like £15, so I had a bunch of other racers that are now in the collection also. Sega Superstars Tennis. This is one of the best tennis games I've played. Like, I don't know if people agree with that consensus, but I really enjoyed this when I played it. It was one of the first Xbox 360 games I had as well, because I found it in a game shop for like £2. Because it's one of those games that was always cheap from the get-go, even during like the Xbox 360's lifespan. So yeah, a good tennis game. Quite enjoyed it. It's similar to, say, things like Mario Tennis and that. And then Shadow of the Damned, gotta give this one a shout out, it's just a really cool game. Getting a tad pricier as well. Silent Hill, still need Downpour. I found Downpour in a CEX once for £30, and I had a voucher. Big regret not buying that there and then, because I think that's since went up. Singularity, again, one of the games I bought off the back of a Metal Jesus Rocks Hidden Gems video. I try to avoid just reiterating games when I try and do hidden gems that Metal Jesus has said, because again, a lot of people, if they're watching mine, they've probably watched his. So I want to try and be unique with my views. Skate series, yeah. Again, everyone's had a go bash at the Skate series at one point in their life. Skate 3 is the one that I used to play at my pal's house quite a lot. Late nights and that. Can't beat that with the ragdoll physics and such. Sonic games as well. Yeah, I'm not going to delve too much into these. I'm a huge Sonic fan, but yeah, the nostalgia. I played this one on the Wii as a kid. Then this one I got for Christmas one year, played the shit out of it, love All Stars Racing Transformed. I even beat the Sonic story mode on Free Riders. That game is fucking horrendous. It is so crap, it's so bad, it is probably the worst Sonic game that's ever came out. It's so unbearably broken. If Sonic 06 didn't have the same loading screens, I would say this is probably the worst Sonic game that has ever came out. It is horrendous. Do not touch this game. It is awful. It is probably up there as the worst Kinect game as well. Like, it's so fucking bad. I try to not say too many swear words, but like, some of these games just offend me. Sonic Generations, cannot beat this one. I hope this one's got a manual. If not, very cool, it's got a manual. Yeah, I bought this one a good while ago because I traded in my original copy way back when. But yeah, can't beat Sonic Generations, an absolutely fantastic game. Definitely top 3 Sonic games for me. Sonic Adventure 2 is probably my favourite one. 100%ed that during COVID lockdowns. That took me about 90 hours. Got all the achievements on Steam. Kinda wish I did it on Xbox or something instead, but Steam, to be fair, probably looked the nicest and ran the best, so yeah, cannot beat this. Sonic Mania and Sonic Generations. I don't know what my number 2 is. Don't know what that is. And I've noticed Sonic Unleashed is not on my shelf. I think that's still in the living room, to be honest, because I was playing it on my Xbox not too long ago. So yeah, I think that's in my living room where my Series X is. But yeah, I do have Sonic Unleashed before anyone says, you've not got this, so I need to make an extra space for it. Oh, I'll just rearrange the shelves. But yeah, Sonic 06. I don't mind the game too much. If I didn't have the terrible load times, honestly, I would have beat it. It's the load times that put me off. The load times just take far too long. I don't mind the game itself. It's not a good game by any means. It is broken to shit, but, you know, it just exists. Soul Calibur 4, it's got Yoda in it. Soul Calibur 5, I believe, has Ezio in it. Yeah, I quite enjoy Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur 2 is the one that I actually grew up with. But yeah, having a look here. South Park Stick of Truth, this is a game I've been looking forward to seeing again. Me and my friend, when I mentioned earlier that we were doing like game days on Sundays and that, we played Metal Gear Rising, moved on to Stick of Truth, started playing that, and he's like, oh, gotta go home, Mark. And I'm like, cool, see you later. And I just continued playing. I sat for 12 hours straight, beat this game in one go, and I had work the next day, so I was like, come on, I've got to finish it. I was at the final boss. I remember like it was purple background and stuff, it was like this big monster or whatever. But yeah, this game is not only really funny, really fun RPG as well. You know, it's one of those where you wouldn't expect it to be good. But these days, I think everyone is aware that, you know, the South Park games are good. But yeah, still not played Fractured But Whole. I've got it on Switch, just not got around to it. And I've also bought this on the Switch as well because I just enjoyed it that much. Something I definitely will play again for sure, but yeah. South Park Stick of Truth, fantastic game, absolutely fantastic. Then you've got the Spider-Man subset here. I do believe I have all the 360 Spider-Man games. The only ones that technically count as well that I don't have are the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games. Really enjoyed Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I'm kind of shocked I still don't have the Ultimate Alliance games, but I've just never came across them. Or when I have, it's when I've already bought, like, you know, used my game budget for the month. But out of the Spider-Man games, definitely the one that I put the most time into so far is Web of Shadows. Pretty solid game. I do believe like Edge of Time and Shattered Dimensions do fall into that realm as well. Yeah, that fell. And I was watching Gentleman of Games the other day, and he got this game at a charity shop. Lucky, so lucky, man. To be fair, I got it for like £20, which isn't too bad. But yeah, that's a really good find, and again, that's a really good game. All the channels I'm mentioning here as well, definitely check them out. They're all, you know, they're doing what I do, but probably better, to be fair, so highly recommend checking them out. Things like Metal Jesus Rocks, Retro Ghetto, Gentleman of Games, again, all fantastic channels. So yeah, go and check them out. Before I move on as well, there is a few games I wanted to double check. Street Fighter vs Tekken. I got this game for my birthday one year. I am a bigger Tekken fan than Street Fighter though, so when it played more like Street Fighter, yeah, I liked it still, but I do like Street Fighter, but Tekken, I like Tekken better. It's just, I don't know, it's just better. I think it's what I grew up with as well. Love Tekken 3. I remember watching my brother play like Tekken 5 and such. Played quite a bit of Tekken 6 myself, which is actually upcoming here. And then Tekken 7 as well, got that on the Xbox One. I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to Tekken 8. I'm going to pick that up on the PlayStation 5. But yeah, this game, I'm so sad that Tekken and Street Fighter never happened. That would have been the better game. It just never happened, and they say, oh, it's happening, it's cancelled. So yeah, it's just kind of disappointing. But yeah, that's the nature of it. Just try to look like Street Fighter. Oh, yeah. Street Fighter will be under you, because I've got Ultra Street Fighter. I was confused as to why I couldn't find it, I wanted to talk about it. But I'm going back here. So yeah, you see, I categorize all my games by the first. So, The Amazing Spider-Man, The Chronicles of Riddick, The Club. That might upset some people, but this is my game collection. I always say the in front of things first. I don't just go... The only one that I don't really do that for is King of Fighters. But I'll always say, oh, the Elder Scrolls. I won't just say Elder Scrolls, like that's wrong to me, so my brain automatically goes to the first, which is why I categorize it in this way. The only time I broke that rule is for Alundra on the PlayStation 1, where I just wanted Alundra 1 and Alundra 2 together, so the one time I broke that rule. But yeah, Tekken 6, again, a game, it's a really good solid fighting game, backwards compatible. Talked a bit about Tekken to be fair, so I'll leave that one alone for now. Having a look here, yeah, Skyrim, everyone got Skyrim, you know, when that came out. Cracking game. I've never actually beat Skyrim, but every time I play it again, I get that little bit further with the story quests. Played it on the 360, didn't get too far. Played on the Xbox One, got a bit further. Definitely, you know, got closer to the end. The Switch, I put quite a lot of time into it, but then my friend was making me like a broken, overpowered character, and he overwrote my save. I was like, oh no. But I've got a character that's super broken, overpowered, so I could blast through the story quest if I really want to. But it made me a little sad that I put quite a lot of time into that character. I can't remember what race I went either. I think it was Khajiit. I think I went Khajiit that time on the Switch. But yeah, can play Skyrim pretty much anywhere these days. And then King of Fighters 13, a cracking game. I'm sure they announced a version on the Switch and PS4 coming soon of this game, which is fantastic. So more people can get to play it. And of course, Lord of the Rings Conquest. Go watch my Hidden Gems video, my thoughts on that. And with Spyro Legend of the Dragon, I remember my brother had this game, so I snuck into his room and tried it out one day, and I thought it was terrible. Just thought you should know that. So, just moving over slightly. So now we've got these games here again, a few collection games as well, with the Orange Box, the Serious Sam collection, and then Simpsons game, that's a cool one. Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth 2, I believe that's an RTS as well. I remember watching my brother play that quite a bit, he enjoyed that. My oldest brother. He likes his Lord of the Rings, and he likes his RTS games. So, have a look here. The one I'll highlight here is Tornado Outbreak. Again, this is also my one of my videos, the rare and expensive games I own on the 360. This is definitely the rarest 360 game I've got, as I think it is around 60 odd pounds on CEX. And then the second one from there would probably be Spider-Man or the Need for Speed Most Wanted. But yeah, Tornado Outbreak, I bought this. I'll see if this still has the receipt. I'm sure I kept this one. No, I didn't. I remember I just came across this in a CEX one day. It was like £12 a good few years ago. It was before COVID, maybe 2018, 2019 I bought this. I was like, that game looks cool. I'll buy it for £12. And it's just appreciated in value ever since. So that was one of the lucky ones where I was like, oh, found it by chance one day. So getting close to the end now. Some games I'll highlight here, the Transformers games on the 360. I don't have the movie games or anything, I don't care too much about those. I'll pick them up if I ever go for a full set, but I'm not actively looking for them or anything because I just don't care. But yeah, this shelf has quite a lot of really good games that I enjoy. Toy Story 3. This game is completely trash, but I got it in a charity shop for 99p. So even for the case and maybe buy a disc only later, that's fine. But yeah, this is probably one of the worst discs I've ever got, but it works. I don't even care that I'm dropping it, like, this game works. That's what I love about the 360. These games are damn near indestructible sometimes. And it's got like the perfect circle scratch and everything. I don't know how this works, but it does. Because I've played it, that's how I've played it. Really good game, the toy box mode is as good as people say. But yeah, absolutely trashed. I normally don't buy games like that, but since it is one of the harder to get, like, well, at the time, one of the more expensive ones were like £10 when 360 games were all £1 each. I was like, yeah, I'll grab that one, even if it is just for the case. I can upgrade condition later on. And I've never really had to, because as long as it works, I'm not that bothered. I'm not a condition collector, but yeah, Devastation, I played this like last year. Solid game. If you want to get your kid into like you know, even you don't even have to be a kid for that one, to be fair. It's like a simple Platinum Games title. But yeah, Fall of Cybertron, got this for Christmas one year, cracking game. War for Cybertron is the one here I've not actually played. It's on the backlog to try out someday, of course. And then Trials as well. You can't beat Trials. I quite enjoy Trials. That's the reason I wanted this. Let me know if I should try Limbo or Explosion Man. Not any games I've tried there. But something that's on my radar perhaps someday. And then I've got the U-Draw tablet as well. Not played it or anything like that, but it was like £3, so I picked up a couple of titles with it. And it was boxed in lousy condition, the box, but the tablet itself's fine. But yeah, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, the summer days. Summer days of playing this game at a pal's house, and his main was Virgil. And he would always win, and he was like, I'm really good at the game. I'm like, we found out later on that Virgil is broken as hell in this game. So, obviously, Virgil's one of the easier, more accessible characters. So, you know what, he did win, but knowing that it does kind of, it's kind of like a closure moment. Like, that explains a lot. Ultra Street Fighter 4, so this is what I was trying to find earlier, but I forgot I labeled it under U. With Street Fighter 4, again, that was a game with gold. Me and my pals used to do tournaments on it in the summer days. My mains were like Zangief. I played a bit of Blanca as well. I quite enjoyed that. Those were some good days when we did the online tournaments between our friend group. Under Defeat HD, another cave shoot 'em up. I'll always just shout them out. I didn't shout out Akai Katana, that's one to keep an eye out for as well. But yeah, the cave shoot 'em ups, all really fun titles, and they are getting harder to get, especially Under Defeat and Dodo and Patchy. Death Smiles and Akai Katana are probably the easiest to find out the two, so if you just want to try one out at a more accessible price and easier to find, probably get one of those. And then got this last section here, the WWE games. I believe I'm nostalgic for these two the most. 2K12 because this is the one I played a lot with my brothers, and 2K13 because again the summer days when I'd play this with my pals. We did so many custom characters and that. Man, good times. You can't beat some WWE games. They're a fun time. They are like the only sports titles I will happily have on my shelf. Well, with the exception of like UFC games, I just don't really have any on the 360, but yeah, really enjoy the WWE games. Quite enjoy WWE as a whole, to be fair. Me and my friends all have an active group where we do predictions and that. Just a bit of fun. Don't take it too seriously, but yeah. Worms Collection, can't beat Worms 2. That is the GOAT game. Has this got Worms Storm again? Yes, it does. So, grew up with that on the N64. I don't have it on the N64, I need to pick that up sometime. And then, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to zoom along here. And then got the last 4 games here. being X-Men Wolverine, U-Star, Zone of the Enders, and Zimbarsh. Zone of the Enders is pretty cool. I got U-Star too because of the Scott the Was video on Connect Games or something. I was like, that game actually looks pretty neat, and I found it for 50 pence literally the next day, so I was like, it's fate, it's mine. But yeah, that's the Xbox 360 collection right there. Alright guys, that is the Xbox 360 collection, so definitely the biggest collection I've got for any individual platform here. I'd say the second biggest is probably the Nintendo Switch or the Wii. I've got a lot of Wii games, because again, it's one of those systems, they're just cheap. But yeah, if you did enjoy the video, please do like, share and subscribe, and I do hope that you guys enjoyed hearing about some of my personal experiences with a lot of these games. For having such a large collection, I have played quite a bit of it. I've not played all of them by any means, like that's unrealistic to say. I've completed over 450 games on a single platform, and it just seems like madness to me, but as I say, if you guys enjoyed the video, like, share and subscribe, and if you want to see other collection videos similar style, or if there's anything you'd like to see in the future and just in general, again I want to add some variety to the channel, let me know and I'm more than happy to do so. But yeah, as I say, just share the video about, yeah, if you want to see more, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks and goodbye.